Hello and welcome to this week's Mystic Message. This week's message is all about the heightened emotions that many of us are feeling. So, whether you're listening to this now or you're listening to it in the future, it's a beautiful message no matter what time. However, if you're listening to this now in June of 2025, chances are it's going to resonate really strongly. We are being hit with a lot of energy that's really provoking and promoting an influx, an increase of intense emotions. And there's a many reasons for it, and that's not what this video is about. This video is about how we're being asked to work with it and use it. And it might be in a different way than you're used to. And so, how we all kind of receive and handle and work with emotions is different, right? Some of us bypass them altogether and we avoid them at all costs, and then they get buried really, really deep. And then in 5 years from now, we have physical ailments that are due to these trapped emotions that we then have to do deep work to figure out. Chances are you're probably doing that from some of your trapped emotions from childhood or 5 years ago or what have you. Some of us have outlets like exercise, which is a beautiful way to release trapped energy, trapped emotions that are present. Some of us like to have a good cry or watch a movie that is going to like just provoke a good cry. And we just like to have a little bit of a pity party for a weekend and get it all out, and then we're fine. Sometimes we like to go to therapy, talk therapy, and talk it out with somebody and release the emotions in that kind of way. Um, However, and then there is the selection of us who use our emotions to spark creativity. And while that might be second nature for some, it's not always second nature for a lot of us. However, it is a beautiful, beautiful gift that we have as humans. And that is what this message is about. It's about the link between creativity and emotions. And they might both be things that you resist heavily. And so the link in general, right, as a broad kind of topic, brings us to the sacral chakra, right? The our second chakra up, the one around our womb space. It is tied to emotional regulation and it's also tied to creation, right? That's where we create life. That is a big area of manifestation as well. And so having this energy center in our bodies that dictates and works with the energy of creation and creativity, along with emotions and emotional regulation, it makes sense that there is a link here and that, if you think to the most highly creative individuals you know, whether in your personal life or even if we think of celebrities, musicians, artists, any of those types of things, anyone who has an expression that is some sort of art or creativity, chances are once you get to kind of know them on a deeper level, you understand that they have high emotions. As my daughter would put it, they have big emotions. They have high highs and they have low lows, right? Poetry, songwriters, painters, all of that. It is a creative expression that likely is stemmed from some sort of emotion and they're trying to tell a story or release that emotion, right? It's born out of the emotional depth that those individuals have the capacity for, which is also why we see such a high correlation between people who are highly creative and artistic, musicians and things like that, and things like depression and, mental health issues and suicide and things like that. Because they are so linked. Those who have that outlet tend to have those deep emotions. And this isn't to say like let's go promote, mental health issues or anything like that. The beauty of our human experience is we have a higher, a bigger, a deeper spectrum of emotions than maybe in other realms, right? Something like the angelic realm, they dwell way up here and they don't understand the depths of duality and polarity because they kind of hang out in one realm. They hang out in these higher realms. They don't understand The impact of experiencing high highs, low lows, light light, and dark dark. And here on Earth, one of the big lessons, and especially if you've listened to the most recent Mystic Messages, you know that a big part of why we are here is to experience polarity, which is duality, which is what the universe is based in, but pitting it against each other. And so it is very extreme in our high highs, low lows, in whatever way that looks like. And there, in addition to that, as human beings, we are very creative. And it is this, we are created for this. We are created to have a high emotional capacity and therefore ability to have a high emotional intelligence and navigation and learn how to navigate that. And a lot of the ways that we can navigate that is through creativity. You know, creativity is is a form of emotional alchemy in a huge way. And so that's what this message is about. There's a lot of ways that we can alchemize emotions and we can work through them. But again, this message, if you're feeling these emotions now or in the future, any form of it, or you've been avoiding it and you're like, I really need to dive in, but I am scared. I don't know if I can handle the intense emotions. Let this be another potential way that you can navigate it. But right now, we are being asked to really harness and unleash some creativity. Because what does that do? If we think big picture and we think we're on this ascension path, right? We're here right now to shift the vibration of humanity while Mother Gaia shifts her vibration. We're shifting into a new era, right? How do we do that? We need creative ideas and solutions. We need to bring in creativity. As humans, that is our path. That is a big part of our path to ascension is creativity. And so that is the call. Your call right now is to explore creativity in any form of creativity or creation to navigate the emotional alchemy. So it's a call to learn something new. It's a call to dabble in something new. And it may speak to you and it may become a tool for your toolbox, or it may just be for this moment. It may just be for this era and this phase in your life to discover these things. Okay. Uh, so creativity is this beautiful outlet that we have for our emotions, right? And it allows us to release and it brings in intention, right? So again, if we think about the different ways in which we release emotions and don't keep them trapped inside of us, you know, some are just we're not super feeling it, right? Exercise is a beautiful one that kind of allows us to release some, but we're not facing it as strongly and there's less intention. Sometimes crying it out and feeling the feels is super beautiful. But how beautiful would it be to feel the feels, to release it at the same time, and to birth something beautiful? I mean, what gets better than that? And that is how this beautiful alchemy can take place. And again, this is what we're here to do. And so, as a visual, I'm a very visual learner, and this is the visual that was presented to me. Let's see. Oh, look, it even shows up the right way. So look at this kind of idea. So if you are someone who doesn't dabble in deep emotions, you might find yourself here at neutral more often than maybe some of the rest of us. I'm someone who I'm down here, I'm up here, I'm all over the place. So in this little image here, this is our higher vibrational emotions. This is neutrality. And these are the lower vibrational emotions. This is, you know, the deep dark pit that sometimes I talk about and how we sometimes spiral down here and then we have to climb our way back out. And then there's some people who hang out up here because they're bypassing all of this, right? If you're, you know, it's that kind of toxic positivity or that like love and light only, you know, they think that they're kind of feeling that, but they're just kind of bypassing a lot of this. So if you think of the line as direct feeling, right? If you're here, think of what your perspective is. You have there's a beautiful benefit, right, to neutrality. We talk about neutrality all the time. We talk about 0 point and the benefits of 0 point. And this is not to say that there's not benefits. However, when you're here, you have a view up here and up here that is equal, that allows for more objectivity because you're not strongly feeling this and you're not strongly feeling this. This is objective. This is a beautiful place for alchemy for a different conversation, but it's one perspective. It does not allow for deep, different perspective and viewing. Because imagine you're standing here. You're looking up, it's always going to look the same. You're looking down, it's always going to look the same. You're only going to understand this or this from this place of kind of viewing it from here. Whereas if you allow yourself to feel all of this, we all have these emotions, right? Some of us hang out there more than others. Think of what your perspective is down here. Your ability to view down here when you're down here is different than your ability to view it when you're up here. Just like your ability to view up here or up here from down here is going to look different than your ability to view it from here or up here. Just like your ability, if you're up here, to view down here, look how far away that is. It's going to be a real challenge to understand and feel and alchemize things down here if you hang about up here all the time. So think about this as a perspective thing. And so wherever you find yourself, you have a different perspective. And that allows for limitless potential of creativity and outlet and experience. If you allow yourself to feel that and then use that creativity to work your way through it, right? Maybe you're down here and you need to go paint something or write a song or write some poetry or whatever sort of creative thing that calls to you. As you create it and you release it, you find yourself naturally maybe now here, and now you're feeling a different kind of lower vibrational emotion, and now but you have the perspective because you're in it. And as you pour the energy into creating something, it releases it from you, pours it into a creation that other people can resonate with, other people can look at and feel and spark their emotions and allow them to more easily come down here. And so there's something beautiful about being able to perceive no matter where you are, right? From the height, that's beneficial too. So I hope that this is beneficial to you. And I hope that we all understand, there's a lot of ways to alchemize emotions. But again, a unique, you're here for a reason. Take advantage of the things that you can do here and your soul can experience to evolve and grow to take with you to your next incarnations. And this type of creation and creativity that ties to emotions in our sacral chakra is unique. And, again, this is your call to stop bypassing it, to explore creativity as an outlet, to change the narrative on whether you view yourself as creative or not. Because you absolutely are. And if you're not, then again, this is sacral chakra stuff. And this is, if this entire conversation is terrifying to you, then that's a call to you to even explore deeper what is in your sacral chakra. Why are we resisting these emotions? What is the baggage there that is preventing this? And a call to just dive in and to feel it and to know that you're supported by this creativity energy, by this muse energy, by the inspiration. And the ability to create something out of something dark is a beautiful gift that we have. And take advantage of it and have fun. Mwah. Love you all.